Diego could touch his toes with ease. He passed his gym's flexibility screen on the first attempt. He told himself he was mobile, that his body was ready for anything. Then he tried to squat. Every rep, his heels came up off the floor. His knees caved inward, his lower back rounded at the bottom. He overhead pressed and his lower back hyperextended every single rep. His coach kept telling him his form was wrong. Nobody told him why. I'm Juan Carlos, and I've got your raw daily fuel for today. In Guatemala, the marimba players you hear at festivals have spent years developing precise, controlled finger and wrist movement. Not just range, control through the entire range. The traditional weavers of the highlands maintain full shoulder and wrist mobility throughout their lives because their craft demands it in small daily doses, not once a week in long sessions. And the jaguar, the most powerful symbol in Guatemalan culture, does not simply stretch. It moves through its full range under load, with strength and control in every direction. That is not flexibility. That is mobility. And there is a critical difference between the two that most people in the gym have never been taught. Flexibility is passive range of motion. It is how far your joint can be moved by an external force. Gravity pulling you forward as you reach for your toes. A partner pushing your leg. A foam roller working through a muscle. You are not controlling that movement. Something else is moving you through it. Diego was flexible. He could be moved through a large range of motion. Mobility is active, usable range of motion. It is the range you can control with your own muscles and nervous system under load. When Diego tried to squat, his nervous system did not have the pattern or the strength to control his ankle and hip joints through the required range. Flexibility told him his body was ready. Mobility told the truth. 3 joints determine movement quality for almost everything you do in the gym. Your ankles. Limited dorsiflexion, the ability to pull your toes toward your shin while your heel stays down, is the most common cause of heels rising in squats, knees caving inward, and lower back rounding at the bottom. Test yours right now. Stand facing a wall, toes 5 inches away, and attempt to touch your knee to the wall without your heel rising. If your knee cannot reach the wall, your ankle mobility is directly limiting your squat mechanics. Your hips. Limited hip rotation forces your lumbar spine to compensate in squats and deadlifts, reducing glute activation and creating lower back strain that accumulates over time. Sit on the floor with both legs bent at 90-degree angles, one in front and one to the side. This is the 90-90 test. How easily you can sit upright in that position reveals exactly how much rotation capacity your hips have available. Your shoulders. Limited shoulder mobility prevents the proper overhead pressing position, forces internal rotation during bench press, which increases impingement risk and limits pull-up mechanics at the top. Stand against a wall, raise both arms overhead, and check whether both arms touch the wall while your lower back stays neutral. If your lower back arches away from the wall, your shoulder mobility is compensating. Diego had restrictions in all 3. After his coach identified each one, Diego added 10 minutes of targeted mobility work every single morning. Ankle wall stretches and ankle circles for dorsiflexion. 90-90 hip rotations and hip circles for hip mobility. Wall slides and overhead shoulder reach for shoulder range. Before training, he used dynamic versions, leg swings, hip circles, arm circles, 10 reps each, to prepare his joints for active loading. After training, he held static positions for 30 to 60 seconds to build passive range while everything was warm. Here is the principle that makes daily practice so much more effective. Mobility is a neural skill. Your nervous system learns to allow movement through a range with consistent, repeated practice. 10 minutes every day for 30 days is 300 minutes of practice with daily neural reinforcement. 60 minutes once per week for 30 days is 240 minutes. With only 4 reinforcement sessions. Daily practice wins on both total volume and neural consistency. After 6 weeks, Diego's squat heels stayed on the floor. His overhead press position became neutral. His form problems resolved completely without changing a single exercise in his program. He was not inflexible. He was immobile. And mobility is a skill that responds to daily practice. I'm Juan Carlos, and that's your raw daily fuel. Remember, the jaguar does not stretch once a week and call it done. It moves every day, through every range, with strength and control. 10 minutes every morning is all it takes to start building the mobility your training has been waiting for. If this explains something that has been frustrating you in the gym, subscribe to Raw Daily Fuel. Diverse voices, global perspectives, one mission. Giving you the movement quality to unlock everything else.